Do you ever find yourself just yearning for peace and quiet? Like I'm not talking about mental peace and quiet, I'm talking about actual, real peace and quiet, just a chance to sit quietly and read a book or be alone with your thoughts. I know I do. It's 11:30 now on a Saturday morning, and I'm sat in my home, and you'd think that'd be a quiet time. It's supposed to be kind of, Saturday morning, relaxing, quiet. But bearing in mind the fact I live by myself, so there's nobody else in the house. I should be able to just do what I want, sit quietly. But just as I set up to record this video, there's a car alarm outside that keeps going off every 5 minutes, which you'll probably hear at some point during this video. You'll probably hear it a lot during this video. There's traffic constantly going by, even though I supposedly live in a quite suburban area, but the road outside, people just use it as a shortcut. And so I'm sat here in what is my spare room, because just to give you a bit of background here, I live in a bungalow. So just in case you don't know what a bungalow is, it means all the rooms are on the same floor. All the rooms are on the ground floor. So, for instance, the lounge and the bedroom are on the same floor, and it's semi-detached, which means there's basically my house and another house attached next to it on one side. And unfortunately, what's happened here is the people who live on the side of me that's attached to my house have decided to relocate what was their lounge at the front of the house. They've decided that they want their lounge at the back of the house, so their lounge is now basically next door to my bedroom, which in theory shouldn't be too much of an issue, apart from the fact that the woman who lives there seems to like to turn her TV on at 6 a.m. So when I'm trying to sleep, I then get woken up by her TV and then can't get back to sleep, because for whatever reason she deems it necessary to have the TV on at 6 o'clock in the morning. But I don't want to dwell on the complaint. And what I really wanted to touch on is actually how that kind of makes me feel. The fact that I just can't find a space in this house that I live in by myself. I can't find a space where I just can just sit, and like say, if I just want to sit and read a book, if I just want to sit and quietly be alone with my thoughts, I can't do it. I can't sit in my lounge and read a book, because, strange as this may seem, even though my lounge now book backs onto their bedroom, the same woman then has a habit of, I assume she must just lay in bed at 9 o'clock and watch TV. So then I can hear the TV in that room, so I can't read a book. Which is why I've had to make this spare room into kind of, this chair that I'm sat in here now, which is basically a plastic garden chair. This is supposed to be my reading space, where I can hopefully get a bit of peace and quiet. But like I say, it's just it just becomes a kind of a mental strain, not being able to choose your own quiet time. Sometimes if you have a stressful day of working and you just want to just sit quietly, okay, you might want to read a book, or you might just want to just sit in peace for a minute with your own thoughts, without any screens or without having to have the TV on. And it's frustrating when you can't do that. And it gets to the point where sometimes the noise becomes so annoying that I personally find myself then having to put my own noise on to try and cancel out, the third party noise, because if I'm going to have to listen to noise, I'd rather listen to my own noise that I have control over than noise that I don't have control over. So a truck just goes by when I'm trying to talk. So it's it's just this frustration. Like in the evening, I might kind of listen out and think, can I hear the TV? No, I can't. I can't hear next door's TV. So I think I might just start reading a book, and then I'll sort of get a couple of pages in, and then suddenly I'll hear like a click on the wall, which is the switch on the power socket being flicked, and the next second the TV comes on, and then that's my book reading out the window. So it's just a big frustration not being able to, choose quiet when you want quiet. And again, if you've got a family, if you live in a house with a family, if you've got a partner, if you've got kids, whatever. Well, I haven't got a wife and I haven't got kids, so I kind of would think that it would be easy to find that quiet time, but no such luck. It drives me mad sometimes. Like this morning, I get up and think, Saturday morning, I've got a whole day that I can plan out what I want to do, but again, I can't, because you can't find that peace when you want it. And I don't know, it just leaves you feeling slightly vulnerable, because your home is the one place where you think you should have control over your environment. It's different if you're out working and you're out in an office or something, and there are other people in the office making a noise when you're trying to work. Well, there's not a lot you can do about that, but you'd like to think that once you're in your own home, that should be your castle. That should be the place that you have control over, that you can do what you want to do and control your own environment to make it what you want it to be. And it's just that invasion of comfort. The fact that there's all these external things making a noise. Like I say, it's not like I live in the middle of a big city or something where you think, well, okay, I have to put up with that. I live on, in what should be a fairly quiet suburban area, if it wasn't for the fact that this road outside is one that people seem to use as a shortcut, so it's just constant traffic, just all the time, and it's just, I don't know, it's just difficult. Even recording this video, I sort of, like I say, as soon as I thought about doing it, suddenly somebody's car alarm starts going off, and then every time they seem to silence the car alarm, it's off for about 2 minutes and it starts again, and then that's going on for about 20 minutes. You think, well, what should I do? Should I delay making the video until everything goes quiet? But then if you do that, suddenly the whole day is gone, and you've not achieved anything you want to achieve, because you're trying to wait for peace and quiet. And it's just it just gets to me sometimes. You'd think being able to sit in the quiet space in your own home should be one of these things that's kind of expected, really. It should be one of the benefits of having your own home and not having housemates, roommates, family, children, anything else around. It should be one of those things is, okay, you get the loneliness of having nobody around, but the positive side should be you can get peace and quiet when you want it. Whereas my problem at the moment is I have the loneliness of nobody around, but at the same time I can't even get the peace and quiet of having nobody around, because there's all these other random people who I share no connection with, who insist on intruding on my little quiet bubble. So not wanting to go onto a rant about noisy neighbours who are inconsiderate and have their TV on at 6 a.m. for whatever reason. I mean, I don't know why anybody at that time of the morning they really want to have the TV on. So there's not enough of our life being exposed to one screen or another, or some bad news, or some other sort of rubbish. The fact that the first thing in the morning, as soon as you get out of bed, you need to have the TV blaring out. But that's another matter. That's I want to try and be introspective and reflective here about these sort of things, not just turning into some complaining rant. But I mean, how do you feel about these things? Are you able to find peace and quiet when you want it? or or do you have the same frustrations where you'd think, I'd like to read a book, but now I can't because there's this there's this external third party noise, and you find yourself having to adjust your life or what you're doing around other people, even though you're in your own home. You still don't have that sense of control. Let me know what you think. Let me know it's not just me, and that other people have to deal with these things. I'd be interested to know that I'm not the only one. Anyway, take care. Hopefully you can find this peace and quiet that you crave, and I'll speak to you soon. Bye for now.